Tastytrade review in 2020. In this video, you are going to learn the best review of Tastytrade and Tastytrade.com. David Jaffe with BestStockStrategy.com. You're welcome to go visit BestStockStrategy.com, enter in your email address, and receive over $400 of valuable free training. And in this video, I'm going to tell you why I believe there is a massive Tastytrade contradiction and why the majority of people that I come across end up losing money by trading the Tastytrade options trading strategy. Tastytrade tells you that you need to sell option premium. They oftentimes encourage you to trade both sides, the calls and the puts. One major flaw with this is that you should not sell calls when we're in a bull market. Right now, it is the end of November 2019. The market is at an all-time high, and selling calls is comparable to selling insurance policies on a car that is then going to get into an accident. Selling calls in a bull market is comparable to a casino getting hit up and losing money to whales that constantly hit 21 every single time they play blackjack. The other thing, which is a major contradiction, is that Tastytrade encourages people to sell option premium, which is what I encourage as well, but then at the same time, they also encourage you to scalp, which is essentially day trade futures. Now, on the one hand, they're telling you that it's very important that you sell option premium because there is both a theta and also a volatility contraction piece on option selling. So again, when you sell option premium, you're selling depreciating assets where there's a theta component where every day that goes by, you are profiting from the decay of that option as it gets closer to expiration. And secondarily, you're also making money from a volatility contraction. So if volatility is high, let's say the VIX is trading at 20, volatility is mean reverting, and typically there's a very high statistical probability that the VIX is going to decrease in price. So there's both a volatility component and also a theta component, but most people make money when they sell option premium, just like the insurance company when they sell and they profit off the time component or the theta decay. When you trade futures, there is no volatility component and there is no theta component. Instead, what they're telling you is that you are better off day trading futures. And I think one of the primary reasons why Tom Sosnoff encourages people to trade futures is that Tom is probably showing massive losses in his personal trading account because he's short delta in a bull market, and he's been short delta in a bull market for like the past 4 or 5 or 6 years. So the only way that he's not losing a ton of money is by adjusting his delta in the futures market. But if you scalp, which is really just a fancy word for day trading futures, you are likely going to lose all your money and get crushed. The other thing is that Tastytrade encourages you to trade often, which is just such a horrible idea. When you trade, you're not making money from being active. Instead, you're making money by making good decisions. By making good decisions, that is how you are going to profit by selling option premium. You are going to wait for the appropriate sell-off and for the appropriate trading range of a specific security on your watch list, and then you are going to sell an option. And by making good decisions, the money is made in the sitting and in the waiting. The money is not made in the actual trading. So a lot of people have this poor misconception of a trader as someone who has like 10 computer screens and who's jumping in and out of trades and who's making 10 to 20 trades every single day. I make in my larger account 2 to 3 trades every single week. In the smaller account, which is currently up over 100% and which has 0 losing trades this entire year, I make 1 trade every 1.5 weeks. Again, you should not trade often. That is an easy way for you to lose money. So the Tastytrade major contradiction is that on the one hand, they encourage you to sell option premium, which has both a time decay and a volatility component. But then on the other hand, they encourage you to trade futures, which has neither a time decay or a volatility component. And that is a major contradiction because it just simply does not make sense. Which one is it? Are they encouraging you to day trade, or are they encouraging you to maximize your probability of profit so that you can earn consistent profits and be a consistently profitable trader. So let me make sure that I have conveyed everything that I've written down. The Tastytrade contradiction: they tell you to sell option premium, yet they also encourage you to day trade futures, which has no volatility or theta component. And I guess what this indicates is that if you repeat bullshit enough, then people will not challenge it and they will simply accept it as truth. So by Tastytrade telling people that they should always maintain negative delta, that they should trade futures, even though that is complete BS and it actually contradicts itself, then I believe that by consistently repeating it, people will accept it as fact. Also, it's extremely shady that they keep having Karen Bruton on Tastytrade and they keep propping her up as a successful trader. It's been proven that Karen Bruton lost $50 million of client money. She lost money. I believe she had to pay a $1.5 million fine. I also believe that she's been barred from the industry, yet for some reason, I believe as early or as recently as July of 2019, Tastytrade encouraged her and invited her to speak at a symposium to people that Tastytrade invited to the conference. So again, in July 2019, Tastytrade invited Karen Bruton to speak to other Tasty traders, yet Karen Bruton lost $50 million of assets. I believe she was charged with fraud by the SEC. She had to pay a $1.5 million fine, and I also believe she's been barred from the industry. Additionally, Tastytrade has had Timothy Sykes on their broadcast, and they've given Timothy Sykes access to their audience on numerous occasions. And I made a recent video about how I believe Timothy Sykes is the biggest scam and fraud in the financial services education space. But for some reason, they have no problem granting Timothy Sykes access to their platform and granting him access to their audience. You cannot inventory short delta. Again, we are in a bull market. If you try to inventory short delta, you are going to lose money, which is why virtually every single one of my students who have tried to make money with Tastytrade and with Option Alpha have lost money. David Jaffe with BestStockStrategy.com. You can visit BestStockStrategy.com, enter in your email address, and receive over $400 of valuable free training. Also, I appreciate you watching this Tastytrade review and this Tastytrade review for 2020. Please leave a comment below and let me know your thoughts about Tastytrade in 2020, and I appreciate your attention.